What is up, everybody? If your goal is to make some money in the agency business and you want to know how to do it like a seasoned pro, stick around. I've been doing this for a decade and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And today, we're showing you how to do it in the med spa niche. Let's go ahead and dive in, waste no time. First off, one of the things that you will find, if you do this long enough, you're going to find a lot of people doing what I call, they slap a Me Too offer on their agency thinking, oh, well, somebody told me that all I have to do was sell this feature and all of a sudden I'm going to be making a whole bunch of money. That is not how this business works, okay? Everything works in a chronological order and we're going to start right here by picking the niche. So the niche that we're going over here today is the med spa niche. The med spa niche is super competitive all by itself, but we're narrowing this down to med spas who have invested in a type of body contouring called Cryo T-Shock. So the mere fact that we're not going after every med spa gives us a very unique position and advantage. So agencies struggle for a variety of reasons. Most of that struggle boils down to three core concepts. So number one is they have no niche opportunity gap. And what I mean by niche opportunity gap is not just identifying the people who are using or have invested in Cryo T-Shock, it's positioning ourselves in a way to where we have an immediate advantage of demonstrating how we're going to help them, all right? You're gonna see that here in a second, all right? Number two is everything is hard to sell. When you have the same thing as everybody else, that's hard to sell. So we need an easy offer. We're gonna fix that today as well. And then number three, complex and complicated fulfillment. I don't care who you are. If you love software and just making the most robust, crazy, overbuilt thing, this is not the channel for you because I like things simple. I like to keep, when I make money, I like to keep the majority of it. So let's go ahead and jump into today's agency launch kit. All right. So today we are identifying the niche opportunity gap. And here's what we're calling it. We're calling it sell in batches, eliminate tire kickers. This is our visual aid, but I'm going to jump down to the grid. We'll come back and so you guys can see that. Okay, so we have got down to our sub niche. So we know that we're helping Cryo T-Shock people get body contouring customers. But here's the thing. If you have maybe been in this niche before, maybe you're coming in and you're thinking, well, I've already tried all this stuff. You know that med spas have already been burned by somebody else. You know that they don't necessarily love Facebook ads. They don't love Google ads. They don't love anything really new or digital anyway because somebody came in, slapped that offer on their high-level white label SaaS and made these huge promises and then they didn't perform. They didn't deliver a result. So understand that in order to combat that narrative, that story in their head, we need a different way to approach them. So we've got our niche. Now let's start going a little deeper. Sub niche, event-based slimming, anti-aging skin tightening. Now we're gonna do these via event marketing. So instead of going straight for the sell, we're gonna promote workshops, okay, get-togethers at their location or maybe even at a restaurant. It works awesome, works both ways, where we're going to focus our marketing specifically on those people. So event-based slimming, so brides, vacations, photo shoots, okay? You could have a campaign to where you are focusing on people promoting that, hey, do you have a wedding coming up? Do you have vacations? Do you have things happening in your life? And you want to finally get down to that ideal body composition, right? That's one angle. Now, the one that I really like is the anti-aging skin tightening. Okay, why? Because we have a big group of older ladies, generally speaking, who have a lot of disposable income and who like to go to workshops. Okay, so as I'm tightening up this model for myself, I'm thinking, okay, I like both of these. My goal is potentially over time to narrow into one and really build that out. Okay, but understand this, if you can help a med spa get 5 to 10 new patients, new jobs like this per month, they will pay you every month. So it says here, core service, 10 plus booked appointments via high emotion ad funnels. Okay, We can do that here at UpHex. That's what we do best. All right. And then positioning. We get you 10 high intent women to book Cryo T-Shock before you pay us. All right. That's a pretty good risk reversal. And we fill your events on demand. So the tools you're going to be using to fulfill this are UpHex, Facebook ads, and then some, depending on what software they have, you can tie that into the thing here as well. Now, I want to talk about the business model. Okay. A lot of you are going to get hung up on two things. Number one, your niche, and then your positioning within that niche. And I know sometimes I'm going a little fast. If you want to know anything more, if you want to dive deeper, and if you want to learn the skills that I'm talking about, jump into the UpHex community. Just go on Facebook, search UpHex official community, and we cover a lot of things there. We have daily classes, all sorts of stuff. Okay, but I want to talk to you about this model, about how to get paid. It's one thing to get online and to find all these opportunities, but then nobody tells you how you're going to actually make the money. When you are talking about an opportunity like this, local businesses who need business, they will always buy from the person that can bring in business for them. Okay, a med spa is always going to want to sell more Cryo T-Shock, assuming they've invested into that. Okay, they're always going to want more patients for cool sculpting, for Botox, whatever their specialty is, wherever they make their money, they always want new patients for that. And that is what we are doing. Now, you can't just go up and make a bold claim and say, hey, I can get you a gajillion Cryo T-Shock jobs. You have to lead with a risk reversal, with a proposition to where that person is like, you know what do I have to lose? And I like this person. If you can check off those two boxes, you win. So, by the way, if we go back to this fancy little drawing that I had ChatGPT put me together, okay, you've got Facebook ads, you got our niche proposition, you've got what we're going to give them and how we're going to give it to them and who we're going to be focusing on and why they're going to pay us. All right, we need all those things. Here's our easy offer. We're going to call it Vanity Velocity. We fill events, then we fill your calendar. And the way I envision this as I'm developing this model is I do a quarterly event. Okay, and let's say at that quarterly event, I get 200 leads, which that's not abnormal. You're going to get 200 leads. Okay, or let's say I get 100. We'll just go easy numbers on this. Okay, and then I get 40 RSVPs. Everybody who doesn't show up, because you're going to have a no-show rate, those people go into a funnel, and we're going to nurture those people. And also, we don't necessarily need to be doing events every month. Now, we could. I used to do it all the time. We used to have doctors in my agency that would promote an event every week, and some of them more than that. But for this, we have just an introduction to this model. We want to keep things simple. Okay, so we're going to fill your events and we're going to get you a bunch of leads. So we book med spas with 10 plus Cryo T-Shock appointments with high intent women chasing visible changes, brides, vacationers, and anti-aging obsessed before they ever pay us. So before the client ever pays the agency. Now, if you do this right, keeping this simple, without jumping into all these additional features and everything else, you can make a six-figure income. And I'm going to show you the product that you will use to do that. All right. You're going to use ads. Now, if you've never run Facebook ads before, you're thinking, well, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know if I have the time to learn it like these other people have. Well, first off, we have a free course. You can learn Facebook ads over the weekend. It's easy to do. But right now, I'm going to break down for you two things. One, an ad that you can just have. Okay. And then two, I'm going to tell you how the ad actually works. So ads work over on three macro components. Number one is the visual component. So that is either the video or the image. I always tell people start out with image. Image is easy to test. Image performs very well on social. Start there. Then we're going to have the proven ad copy. So those are the words that sell. We'll walk through that here in a second. But really writing ads that present an entry offer. And then that is the third thing, which is the entry offer or the ethical incentive. Okay. Now, you can't just run ads to sell something. You have to run ads that find the motivated people. Okay. So in this case, women who are wanting some sort of vanity upgrade, however we want to say that. Okay, we're looking for those people, and then we want to throw in front of them a reason for them to take action. Now, this ad right here has all those elements. I'm going to walk through that here in a second. I would like to pause for just a second. If you are liking this content, if you are liking this model, there's two things to do. One, like, comment, get notified, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. That way you see the other videos that we put out. But the second thing I want you to do is understand that over at UpHex, UpHex.com, we have a library of pre-built campaigns. Proven to work, they're there for you to use, they're there for you to resell and make money on. This one in particular you can get at this link, which I will provide for you after you sign up for a free trial, if that, should you choose to do that, or I don't care, you can just copy and paste this. You can just hit pause and just do whatever you want to, right? I'm giving you a proven ad campaign. But if you want to build a real business, then you want more than one. You don't need a ton, 3, 4, you're good to go. All right, so here's how it works. Let's jump into this ad. Ladies of, and then in UpHex, we have custom values. So the person, we just put in their name. So Boise, ladies in Boise and surrounding areas looking for a non-surgical body sculpting procedure that's better than cool sculpting. Cryo T-Shock is the perfect alternative to liposuction, laser fat removal, and other invasive cosmetic surgery procedures, yada, yada, yada. We give them the entry offer, which is what I talked about, initial treatment, a thermal scan. So if you've heard me talk about any of my offers, this is a self-discovery offer, and it's a test drive offer. It's a dynamic duo. It's a 2-1-2 combo punch entry offer. That's why this thing works so well, which, by the way, when I owned my agency, I actually ran this ad. I actually designed this ad creative. This thing produced sub $10 leads and was amazing. So right here, with this ad copy, with this entry offer, and this ad creative, you got a working product right there. When I started the agency game, it took me between 6 months to a year to figure out a couple of ads that would actually drive results. This one you have in whatever we've been recording this, 10 minutes. Okay, so you've got the model. Now you've got the thing that's going to drive, that's going to drive results for these med spas. What does this look like for you? Show me the money. That's why I added another step to these. This is fun for me, by the way. My goal is to give you guys some type of target, some type of thing that you find actually doable. If you do this model properly, you can either do a monthly retainer. So the way I would do this is I would do a monthly retainer, okay? And then I would set up a bonus structure so that I get incentivized. We are incentivized every time we hit a particular quota, all right? So 10 clients a month paying you $1,500 per month. That's $15,000 per month, all right? That's if you can maintain that, just that income. If you can maintain 10 clients, which is easy. That is easy. If you can maintain 10 clients paying you $1,500 a month, and depending on what you're doing for them, in this case, a Cryo T-Shock body sculpting is like $2,000 to $4,000. One job breaks you even, and you're going to be able to do more than that for them. All right. So averaging just 10 agency clients per month for a year, that's $180,000 a year. These aren't like, income claims or anything like that. I'm just giving you a hypothetical on what you could do and what is totally reasonable and what other people, quite frankly, are and have done. Okay. And then what I would do is I would encourage, so the other thing I'd want to do is I'd want to say, hey, I want to be incentivized. When I promote an event for you and it crushes it, it's a win-win for everybody. You get a bunch of people at your event, then I get incentivized $500 every time I fill an event for you. Fair enough? Awesome. And I'm basing it again on the outcomes. So right there, 200 grand a year, 10 clients running one event per month. I've given you a very, very conservative. Now you could, if you felt uncomfortable, let's say you're newer, you're like, oh, I don't know about $1,500 a month. I feel like everybody else is charging less. Well, number one, everyone else is charging for software that doesn't really do something. You're charging for an outcome. That's the difference. So let's just say that you're a little timid and you go down to $1,000 instead of $1,500. Well, you're still making $120,000, and then with your bonus, you're making I guess that's more. So $150,000. Okay, 10 clients. This is an easy layup deal, assuming you put in the work, assuming you build the model. Now, at UpHex, we say create once, sell 1,000 times, or sell again and again. When you build, and I've given you one ad campaign, you just need 2 or 3 more to sell to that client and to say, hey, we're going to help keep your calendar full of cryo T-shock patients every single month. And if you can do that, they will pay you again and again. And so will similar cryo T-shock or med spas around the country. And trust me, there's a ton of them. If you do this right, you should be able to have a 6-figure income that's profitable and fun with just 15 to 30 clients. Here's the gig though, you guys. Most agencies fail because they stop and start things. They spend time on unnecessary activities and on unnecessary information. I have just thrown a fastball right down the middle of this agency model, giving you the bulk components. Okay, notice I haven't been talking about a whole bunch of softwares and this and that and the other. I've talked about what the actual audience is, what they want, and how you're going to get paid. The software that I use to fulfill that is the thing that's going to help facilitate the money, but this is going to help you make the money and spend time on the right things. The average agency fails because they are creating the wrong product. People will always pay for new customers. That is the right product. The average agency fails because they lack confidence and they're overwhelmed by all of the things that are coming from them from every direction. If you have watched until this point right now, my hope is that you can see the simplicity of the model. Now, that doesn't mean that it's like the easiest thing to do, okay, which is why we have a course, a free course, which is why we have additional training if you need it, because we understand that you're going to need some skills, that you're going to need some guidance. But if you do this right, it is absolutely possible, okay? So you don't have to fall into the same trap as everybody else. So here's my ethical ask at the end of this video and every agency launch kit that I will do into the future, which is this. There are 2 ways we can help you. One is you do it yourself, and we can streamline that as much as possible. You go to adspoweredbyai.com. There's a free course there. You'll get a free trial of UpHex, my software, which will also give you access to over 1,000 proven ads, so you can start building that up so you have something to sell that businesses actually want to pay for. The second is we have a done with you paid program where we will help you build in 30 days an agency. If you want to learn more about that, just jump into our free community. It's facebook.com/group/UpHex, or just go search the UpHex official community. I will put those links, by the way, down in the description, so you can just click on them. But join that and ask about our agency MVP program. I hope this has been beneficial for you, and I will see you on the next video.